Just when I thought it was safe to go back on the internet, I turn around and Lori and Chad have turned things up again. And thank goodness they did, because these people need to be under the jail. And speaking of under the jail, let's talk about some new charges against Miss Lori. So y'all, late Monday, Lori got hit with 2 charges. These were the same thing that her little boy toy Chad got hit with. 2 counts of conspiracy to commit destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence. Now remember, she was already loped up in the Madison County Jail, sitting on some charges of child abandonment and some other misdemeanor stuff. She's been riding out $1 million bail and nobody wants to work with her. I can't imagine that these new charges will help that situation. And on the note of sitting in jail, Mr. Daybell, I'm sure, is quaking in his boots. Y'all, they did another search on his property early yesterday. Everything happens when I go to work, y'all. I am not joking. I'm filming this on my day off, so literally nothing will happen today. I am telling you, get ready tomorrow from 1:30 to 8 though. So police were seen at the Daybell property for like a little under 2 hours. And they were searching some different places, some same places. They were seen like in the backyard with cameras, going in the house, going in some outbuildings, and they left with a couple of brown evidence bags. We are dying to hear what that's going to be, but we'll probably have to wait a hot minute for that. And that's okay, because the police need to do what they are doing to put these horrible people where they need to be. Some documents were released regarding Brandon Boudreax and Melanie Pawlowski's custody battle. And I mean, it's shining a light on this situation. I'm like, okay. Part of these documents were an affidavit by Ryan Pillar. He has been working on the investigation in regards to that attempted murder of Brandon. Now, this part I thought was very interesting. He says in the affidavit that Melanie P. is a person of interest in the attempted murder of Brandon. Y'all, I'm telling you, this girl, they are going to hit her with something. I don't see how it's not possible. Now, Detective Pillar says, look, Brandon never tried hiding his whereabouts or the whereabouts of the children from law enforcement. I think it's safe to say that we can't really say the same for Melanie's side of the fence on that matter. Now, Detective Pillar also says, look, there's 2 times in October 2019 that I had contact with Melanie. One was to tell her about the shooting against Brandon Boudreax, and he says the other one was October 16th, where Melanie reached out to him regarding her children. He says that's the only time that she has contacted him about the kids or like looking for assistance in finding her kids. I find this very interesting, and it brings a whole new light to when Melanie was all like, I'm loving them from a distance right now. Y'all, these people, they don't want anything to do with their past lives. And I'm not talking about this translated BS they're talking about. I'm talking about the past lives that they had already started with other people. You know, I mean, we see this pattern going on with them where they find somebody they're supposed to be sealed with, and then all the people rest in their life, kids, husbands, wives, whoever, end up mysteriously dying. Or worse. Now, and the next thing the tea was so piping hot for me, I was like, I'm filing damn suit. They needed to put a warning label on it. I have burnt myself up. So the special prosecutor that's assigned to the case with Lori and Chad, he indicated that Melanie Pawlowski is a person of interest in several felonious acts, including the missing children, who we all know at this point what has happened to them. The remains have been found. That is huge and groundbreaking to me, because again, when you start piecing together her story and her inconsistencies and her demeanor, I mean, everything about it, to me, it's just obvious. I'm like, she's way more involved in this than she's saying. She either knows way more, either had a hand in it. I do not buy for a second that she was as close to these people as she says she was. Yet she's up there living next door, never seen Lori, never seen the children, so on and so forth. Now, it's also noted in these documents about all the conflicting information that Melanie gives during all this media stuff. Again, I don't know what she's thinking she's doing by going out there and speaking publicly. I'm glad she is, because it's like making things very obvious, but their need, and I say there, I'm talking people like Melanie Gibb, Melanie Pawlowski, you know, the whole little troop writing these books and stuff. They are so hungry to come out here and teach us something and prove something, but they are burying themselves in the process, and we are here for it. Now, these documents also talk about the order of protection that Ian's ex-wife, Natalie Pawlowski, has in regards to her kids and him and whatnot. So basically in these documents, it's like, you know, the children are basically protected from him, and he was only allowed to have supervised visits, situations like that. Well, it says like around June 5th, there was a renewed order of the protection, and since then, Ian hasn't had any contact with his kids. Again, hats off to Natalie for this. Thank God those children aren't allowed anywhere near that situation. Thank God those children are still alive. Thank God Melanie Pawlowski's children are still alive, because I can guarantee you that if she had a say in it, those children would not be here. We would have more missing children, and we all saw it happen with poor little Tylee and JJ. Now, it also says in here that Melanie Gibb is saying that Melanie Pawlowski told her that her children were also zombies. So, again, just what I'm saying. Left to their own devices, these people are knocking off their families and former ones. I think it has to do with money, and I think it has to do with just wanting to start a new life. And these people are so morally bankrupt that they have no moral compass, they have no sense of right or wrong, and they live in this delusional belief system that just involves around ego, death, murder, and all this horrible stuff. It's also stated how Melanie Pawlowski said that Brandon Boudreax was a zombie as well, that he had gone from dark to a zombie state. Whatever they think that is. Again, do not tell me that she was shocked when there was an attempted murder against Brandon. I ain't buying it. And it also says that Melanie Pawlowski said that Brandon was like in Hitler's tight group of friends back in Hitler's lifetime. And I'm like, all right, I am done with the internet and this crowd of people. Stop the world. I am exiting left. Click the videos over here if you want to see the rest of my commentary on this. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next installment on this you know what show. I'll see y'all later.